What's up guys, time for Car Omelette. Today I'm with the next generation Ford Ranger Raptor. Okay, so now let's do a 0 to 100 acceleration. $126. That was really quick. So this engine, as you guys may already know, is a 3.0 liter V6 Ford EcoBoost engine, twin turbo. And man, this thing pulls. It's got 397 horsepower and 583 Newton meters of torque. Wow, what a beast. This thing is now a real Raptor.
This car have a 2.5-inch exhaust that sounds so similar to the F-150 Raptor in the US.
How does it sound like?
This newly revised gearbox, the 10-speed, is also better than the previous generation.
We also tried this generation of the gearbox in the Everest and the One Track. Totally different from the previous 10-speed.
It's smoother, faster, and more user-friendly in low-speed driving.
One thing that's missing from this gearbox is the gearbox hunting problem. The issue that if we're not consistent with our pedal, the gearbox is kind of a bit confused as what gear it should be in, and sometimes it jerks a bit in the city or in the freeway. Totally much better. And also, driving wise, the 10-speed is super good with the RPM, as if we are cruising at 120 kilometers, the engine RPM is only just slightly above 2000 RPM. Super low.
This car is a 3-liter V6 engine. It's not in the category of fuel efficient engine.
I mean, it's a V6, like, what else could you ask for?
Yeah.
So, to sum up how it drives, it doesn't drive like a pickup truck, to be honest. It drives like a very fast SUV, I would say. I mean, like an SUV this size, it pulls like this, there's nothing compared to this.
Yeah.
Other than if you guys live in the US, you have a Trackhawk, you have a TRX, which is way faster than this. It'll be some kind of similar category where it's a very fast pickup. I think the Fox Live Valve system did a pretty good job when there are a lot of bumps and on the road. But however, at normal mode, suspension may feel a bit too harsh, I would say. But I don't want to complain because it takes bumps so well.
Yeah, the body control is a lot better than the previous generation. But because of that good body control, you have to lose some of the comfort of the previous generation Fox suspension without the live valve system.
True.
Because this live valve works like if it detects that the shock is going to compress, it will pump the liquid into the shock and it will make it a lot stiffer. So it can absorb the impact in a more controlled way. You have to trade off something for a better, flatter, more composed suspension. In normal mode of the suspension in this new Raptor is more stiff than the previous generation, and Sport is stiffer, and the Baja is kind of like Sport but more of the body control. How this car drive in the city?
Let's go. Many people would think that having a smaller car, like an eco car, would be very comfortable and super easy to drive in a city like Bangkok. Driving a big car in the city like this is so much better than driving any small car ever. Let me explain why. In Bangkok, if people want to move over to your lane, they will move over to your lane. No matter how fast you were coming, if you drive a small car, people will cut right in front of you. But however, if you move your car's size just a bit slightly bigger, less people would cut in front of you. Driving a vehicle like this, people are more afraid of you, and they are more to be gentle with their vehicle against ours. Driving along, the Ranger Raptor has no dramas at all. As the car is wide but not too wide, that motorcycle couldn't pass through. Moving on to gas. It's a big vehicle and it is not that fuel efficient, but it's also not that bad either. Right now I'm doing about 6.5 kilometers per liter, and we're now in the city, stop and go traffic. So it is not that big of a deal. If you're gonna purchase a car like this, I recommend you have another daily vehicle or another pickup that is a little bit more fuel conservative to suit your needs. But however, for those that want enjoyment and doesn't care about fuel, it is what you would expect for a car this size and an engine like this. It's not even that big of an engine, a 3.0 liter. And also in the highway, 120 kilometers, and the engine RPM at 10th gear is only just slightly above 2000 RPM. Super low, and which that also helps with the fuel economy of this. If you complain about fuel driving in this, I recommend a Ford Fiesta. For a car this size, you would think that it would be super hard to drive in the city. Not a question. It totally depends on who you are as a driver. If you like to drive big trucks, big cars, big SUVs, you would have no issues. But if you come from a sedan or a small car, you have a bit of an issue.
It depends on the driver, and I think it depends on where you're driving.
Exactly.
Not in Bangkok.
So if I can drive this in Bangkok without issue, you should be fine where you are.
Yeah, because when we drive in Bangkok, we can feel that it feels like it fit the whole lane, even though it's not.
In Bangkok City, there are a lot of bumps and unexpected
potholes.
You don't have to brake, at all. Like, just go through it.
The suspension is nice. The steering is relatively
heavy.
Light.
Heavy
for a truck this size, I guess.
Yeah, there are 3 modes, man: normal, comfort, and sport.
I recommend you put it in comfort.
Yeah, even comfort is a bit heavy.
This car equipped with a lot of safety features, and it helps a lot when you're driving this car in the city. You can relax more with the size of the car. You don't have to stress too much.
All the good electronics Ford has, they give it all into this car.
Yeah.
And one more thing they add, other than the lane keeping system, is the lane centering system. It's where you could let go of the steering wheel and it will steer for 15 seconds before you need to touch the wheel again.
And how this car drive on the freeway?
Man, on the freeway, love it. If you need to go past someone, accelerate, it just takes it with ease.
Power on demand.
But if you live in a country where fuel is a bit expensive, some people may complain. But if you're complaining about fuel in this Ranger Raptor, might as well just get a Ford Fiesta or the Ford Focus.
When you drive this car on the road, highway, you can feel that the wider track helps make this car more composed, and you can drive it long distance very comfortably. With the Fox suspension, even though we say that it kind of stiffer than the previous generation, but with the PR6 KO2 and with this seat, it makes this car very comfortable long distance. As we said, the engine is good and is very powerful. All that goodness of the engine comes with a pretty hefty gas bill. I think this car consumes the fuel about where it should be, because with this powerful engine, you have to look at it as a high performance car, not a fuel consumption pickup truck, because it can do things like it's not all that bad though, because when we are driving it on a highway long distance cruising, it get a relatively good fuel consumption.
Like about what, 9.6?
Not bad, but
you have to be light on foot.
The exhaust.
Yes, this thing is super fast, pulls like a freight train, but does it stop well enough?
For the brake, this generation Ranger Raptor is changed to the electronic brake booster, which is interesting. It doesn't feel the same all the time. Sometimes you press on the brake, it will feel like it won't stop in time, but the stopping power is there. But it's like the computer doesn't want you to use the full potential of the brake.
Exactly, and this is one very huge downside for this car. Sometimes when you need it to brake fast and the computer doesn't detect that, it's maybe a bit sketchy, man. Okay guys, to the exhaust. Baja mode.
If you have neighbor, just put it on quiet mode.
In Thailand, we have 4 color options. This is the Conqueror Grey. Looks very, very nice. It is much lighter than Mirador Grey we have in the previous generation. This right here, this is the new Matrix LED. These are the top of the line LED headlights you're gonna have for a pickup. Next up, the grille is more implemented into the front end. I think it looks kind of silly at first, but the longer I see it, the more I like it.
Okay.
As you guys can see here, there are cameras. This car has a 360-degree camera and it's super, super crispy. Moving on to the bumper. As you guys can see here, there is a plastic cover for the recovery point. It is still there, it's just another cover they add in addition. So if you want to use it, just take it off. And down here, if you look closely, there's a arrow flap right in front of the intercooler. This is a very smart way of Ford engineering. So if the ambient air temperature, the engine is sucking in, it's way too cold, it doesn't need to be intercooled, this fin will prevent that. Very cool feature no one talks about. The entire of this car is LED, so no more halogens. Good job. Moving on, the side fender, there's a vent on each side, and these vents are a total fake vent. Moving on to the wheels, these are BF Goodrich KO2s. These are 32.7 inches tire, 285/17. These are not your normal KO2s, these are PR6, which means the load rating is the lowest, which means it gives the softest ride. Moving on to the side here, we have the normal side steps, and the overall entire side of this looks kind of pretty similar to the previous generation. As you guys can see here, there are more stickers. This sticker here is a sticker package you could get in Thailand. Cool stickers for your Raptor to make it, you know, distinguishable from other fake Raptors. And also the side fenders. These are a little bit smaller than the previous generation Ranger Raptor, as the body of the car has been portrayed out slightly more. And if you look closely, it is a coil sprung pickup, which means the ride comfort is just awesome. Moving on to the back, we have twin exhaust. These are 3-inch tips that goes into the 2.5-inch pipe. There are a total of 4 modes: quiet, normal, sport, and Baja. So if you drive a Ranger Raptor, I recommend you put on full Baja, because that's why you bought a Raptor in the first place. And yes, we do get the awesome exhaust that screams, "I'm a Raptor." But you're missing the side steps that all other models get with the Ranger lineup.
Nope.
But don't be sad, because it screams like a Raptor. Moving on to the tailgate. This Ranger Raptor also has the Easy Lift. It has a torsion bar right here, which helps you reduce the needed weight to lift the trunk.
Okay.
Very nice. So for this Ranger Raptor, this is a Thai model. So we have a 230 volt outlet, and also we have the 12 volt outlet. So if you live elsewhere in the world, you might not get that option. And the cool thing with Ford and also with the other models is that you get this option right here. It's where you can mount a C-clamp onto a pile of wood or something if you need to work on them. Pretty cool features by Ford. Next up, with the LED taillights, it looks pretty cool. And right here we also have the blind spot sensor. And also right here we have the tow bar, which has 2 recovery hooks on each side. And also underneath, many Ranger Raptor owners forget, they have another set of KO2s. So please rotate them. I feel so bad for these sitting around. Please have a look at the underneath of the car. Everything is super beefed up in a Ford that you wonder what makes it bad to own one. Let me show you one simple thing Ford missed: the wiring. Like this, this, and this. So this, however, is some sort of wiring for a sensor that it is right next to the rear wheels on both sides. So Yeah, there are a lot of wiring in this car that is exposed to everything like rocks. A rock could go kaboom, the wire came off, and you're fine. So moving on to the interior. The first thing you're gonna notice is the seats. These beautiful seats are designed to look like an F-17 fighter jet pilot seat. Looks pretty sick. And not only that it looks sick, it performs really well. And right in front, you got a brand new design. Steering wheel is about an inch smaller than the previous generation. And however, it looks pretty sick. It has Raptor at the bottom to know that this is not your typical Ranger. Next up is the 12 inches screen. This is available on most Rangers. This also supports wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Moving on to the rest of the interior. The build quality is really nice. There's like Alcantara-ish lineup right at the top. And for the passenger side, there are now a storage space right at the top. The same goes with the bottom. Also a place to put your phone in. One awesome feature for this Ranger Raptor that you wouldn't get in any other Ranger is the B&O speaker system. Man, this speaker is insane. The level of sound stage, the dynamic range of the sound is just awesome. So right at the instrument cluster, you also get a 12.4-inch screen. Looks pretty cool. Even though there's no light in the mirrors, but however, you do get these cool auxiliary switches. Sunglasses storage. Good storage everywhere. The compartment feels very nice and high quality. This, along with the wireless Apple CarPlay, there are also wireless charging port for your phone. There's a USB-C port, a USB port. There are also many cool features around the newly redesigned interior, such as the cup holder. Get your drink cold. This right here is not your average shifter anymore. This is called an E-shifter. If you put it in drive and you open the door, it will automatically get into park. You also have an electric parking brake and also some few accessory buttons like your off-road button. Another feature we missed, as this is a Thai model, is the diff lock button. There are no more diff lock button anymore in this car. Even though there are front and rear diff locks available, we have to press the off-road mode and press it on the screen to engage them. Man, imagine if you're in the middle of a bush, your hands are mud dirty, and you're gonna have to do that and touch the screen. You're gonna get mud everywhere. And not just that, a lot of features of this car is implemented into the screen system, like also the auto brake hold is also in here. That is one of the main drawbacks of this huge screen. And also if you want it shut off completely, you cannot do that anymore, as the only way to shut off the screen, as much as you would like, is only just a screen saver called calm screen. For the back seat, it's pretty nice as well. It's kind of similar to the older generation, but however, they also implement the front seat to the back. As you can see with the orange stripe, pretty cool. And from trying out the back seat, sitting in there for long hours is not painful at all. And also we have the rear AC for the back seat. So overall impression for this car is a positive. The engine, the suspension wise, perfect, awesome. This is good enough as a daily. To be honest, I would daily this if I have the money for gas. So if you do enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe. It really do helps out the algorithm. And see you guys in the next episode of Car Omelette. Bye.